got done with another Zoom, so we're going to try to be prompt tonight. And there's a lot of people excited to hear your story. I know I've heard it many times, when, of course, but there are a lot of new people on, so you can kind of share your experience and how it is to be new and how it is to be seasoned and what you can expect if you duplicate the kind of work ethic that people like you and other team elites have. So I think it'll be an exciting night.
Sounds good.
Welcome. We got team elite Shirley Shu on, I see. Hey, Cheryl. Good to see you. We got Las Vegas on, Tom Polisi. Hey, Tom. So many pretty faces.
How are you?
Good. We're doing well.
There should be a bunch of people on.
Okay. All right. I think we are ready almost.
Well, we got about 30 seconds to go here. We're going to kick off.
Oh, Ross, is Linda with you?
She drove in. She's not right here, but she might sneak on later.
Ah, okay.
All right. Well, it is 9 p.m. New York time. We want to welcome each and every one of you.
Recording in progress.
I know we have some seasoned people on. We have some new people on. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eugene Cruzilla. This beautiful Asian next to me is Wen Rosenkrantz. We like to spend our summers here at our home on Long Island. And just very quickly, because we really want to get to the superstar tonight, which is Russ Collin. He'll be speaking to you from his heart. Some of you know my background. For those of you who don't, I had a very successful catering business here, right here on Long Island. And it blossomed into something that was grew quicker than I was almost able to keep up with. But I was catering to some very, very wealthy people out in Eastern Long Island. Some of you know the Hamptons. Robert De Niro lives out, Billy Joel, a lot of movie stars. And I found myself doing okay economically. But after working every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday, every Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's, became a little bit old as I looked down the road. This was just not something I wanted to do long term. And somebody shared the Nuskin opportunity with me. I kind of caught that vision. It seemed to make sense. I wasn't buying or believing a lot of it at first, but the more investigative research that I did, it began to make more and more sense to me. I actually had met Wen, and she was on an extended 5-year vacation. And we're going to talk a little bit about Russ because he's been on vacation forever. And she was on an extended 5-year vacation. And I said, if I leave my business for like 5 days, it doesn't even resemble what I left. So obviously your income has been adversely affected. And she said, no, quite the contrary. It's actually increased in income. So once I realized that was true, I decided to get busy. And fortunately, a few years later, I got to the pinnacle of the compensation plan. Who knew later in life we would end up together? Because we were only friends at that particular time and business associates. And we decided to travel the world for 5 years together. I've got to tell you, it was the most fun that I have ever had. So for the benefit of you who have not heard Wen's story, maybe you can kind of give them a quick version before we introduce Russ.
Well, good evening, everyone. I know we have a lot of new guests, so welcome to this best call ever. We're just so blessed to have my mentor, and Linda and Russ Collin. They are the true legend of our company, the pioneers, and they actually made a huge difference in my life with this business. So long story short, I joined the business 32 years ago. So we are also one of the pioneers. But in the beginning, I literally saw how the company went from 1989, that's when I joined, 89 to 91, went through the huge momentum, 10 times growth in just 2 years. And I literally saw Russ, and at that time, Dave Johnson and Betty Song, the three of them travel around the whole United States and bring the message of hope. And then when I saw that, I said, wow, this is the business I will set me free, because prior to Nuskin, I was a corporate controller, was slaved by my job. After 10 years long work, I passed out at work one day. And that's when I said, I'm done with this job. I want to be free. So and then my friend shared this business with me, but I was just so fortunate in the beginning. I was mentored by the speaker today, and him, Dave Johnson, we call them the Golden Triangle, and Betty Sang. And besides that, at that time, Nuskin was very, very small, and only in the United States. But because through the pioneers like Ross and Dave and Betty, and created such human momentum, company decided to open up foreign countries. And so now we are in 54 countries. So we're not gonna get into a lot of long story because Russ gonna share his magical history, how he has helped the company put Nuskin on the map and how he becomes so successful. And by the way, he joined in 1985. Company was born in 1984. So he joined when the company was only 1 year old. And we're just so blessed because him we have today. So Eugene, would you like to introduce Russ?
Just a little bit of information about Russ, because his professional background, as some of you know, actually dates back to the early 80s, where he was actually recognized as one of the top elite landscape design companies in all of Orange County in Newport Beach, California. He actually, at the time, commanded a staff of over 100 employees. And when the economy crashed back in the 80s, some of us were around, maybe some of you younger people were not, but just a little bit of history. When that crashed, a lot of people were looking for alternative ways to generate income. And he was certainly one of those people. So when Russ and Linda were introduced to Nuskin by a friend, they literally caught the vision, and they kind of had their own crystal ball to see what was about to happen. And they literally now have helped Nuskin create a global footprint. Their business expands literally globally. So it's no wonder why they've been able to earn the kind of money that they've been able to earn, and that they've been able to lead the kind of lifestyle that they've been able to lead. And just so some of you know this guy's work ethic. I remember being a newbie. I don't even know if Russell remember this call, but I had called him up and I said, listen, I want to be, they called it Hawaiian Blue Diamond at the time, team lead. How do I get there? How many calls do I have to make? And this was about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Russ, you can tell me if you remember this conversation. And I said, well, how many calls do I have to make? He looked at the clock. He said, well, it's about 12 o'clock. So far, I've done about 60 calls. 60 calls! I almost dropped the phone. So then I realized, wow, I need to get busy if I want to be like Russ. Unfortunately, I also followed him to the pinnacle of the compensation plan. So Russ, and not only Russ, but Russ and Linda have literally built this international business that's spanning the globe. They have a wonderful lifestyle. And I understand in Asia, Hong Kong, Japan, he is known as the Big Gong Gong. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to the Big Gong Gong so he can share his story. So Gong Gong, take it away.
Gong Gong, not Gong Gong.
Gong Gong, I'm sorry.
Gong Gong means grandfather, very respectful for Chinese, because both Linda and Ross went to Hong Kong, went to Taiwan to help us. So we Chinese, oh, he warmed our hearts, and we say, oh, gong gong, gong gong, bao 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 means grandpa, hug me, give us the love and all that. So that's how he really, not only being successful, he has such a big heart. So that's what will count our $20+ million, and actually probably 60 million and above, and our over, I don't even know how many years, over 30, maybe 32 years, team elite, a true legend of our company. That's really, we were in the live. We will have everybody stand up, have a standing ovation to welcome the best ever. We love Russ. Here it comes. Oh, by the way, Friday was his birthday. and he just celebrated his birthday. So Russ, come on. Where are you?
Oh, thank you.
Here you go. Okay.
Thank you. This has turned out to be a really fabulous business. I'll back up. What made me really want to fall in love with it was in contracting. We built pools and spas, and we won all the awards. We had beautiful designs. We had great brickwork, stonework, and we did a lot of work. But the problem was when the times get a little bit crazy. The 79, 80 interest rates were 22%. At 22%, that doesn't work very well for people. They pay for the entire house every 5 years at 22%. We knew that wouldn't last forever, but during that time period, people had a hard time paying the last 10 and 20% of the jobs. So some of the jobs back then were $200,000 and $300,000 jobs, and it was really hard collecting the money. Full time. It was a collection process. I'd be collecting money late at night to find out that they'd gone to dinner with friends, and I'd come back. The babysitter would still be there at 10, 11 at night. I'd knock on the door at 1 in the morning and say, you want your job done next week, the pool filled for the 4th of July. It's on schedule to do it, but you agreed to pay me weekly like we agreed, and I'm here to collect. Otherwise, I'm going to send my employees over and you can feed all of them, because I have to make payroll every Friday. So payrolls, it's kind of interesting. You have to have money in the bank to make payroll, and you have to collect from all the jobs you're doing. And it is not easy. It's a full-time job. And although we won all kinds of awards and we had fun and made people happy with their jobs, it got to be very, very hectic. And when I was introduced to Nuskin, it sounded like an opportunity that I might be able to figure out how to do. In the beginning, I did everything wrong. So I'll tell you some of the things I did wrong. Although I was making almost $10,000 a month selling Nutriol. That was a product that was the third ever accounting selling product in Europe, behind Tylenol and aspirin. And it was for thickening your hair. It was not for people that were bald, but we thought maybe that we'd go after everybody. That wasn't what it was. So I started knocking on beauty salons and got in one. I had about 28 beauty salons on 17th Street in Costa Mesa. And if you were one of the salons that didn't have the product, I'd let you know that there's only 2 salons that don't have it, and that everybody that does are selling cases a week of the product. The problem was when we go on vacation for, let's say, Hawaii, everybody called and said, I need 3 cases, I need 2 cases, and I was the delivery boy. I was making almost $10,000 a month. So the company sent Craig Bryson out to find out what the heck am I doing, making almost more than they were. And it was crazy. I was the delivery person. I was doing it direct sales, not networking. I wasn't sponsoring people. And then all of a sudden, Bryson and Craig Tillison's check started going to $12,000 and $15,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 and $40,000, and I'm still making $10,000. So I had a wake-up call, and I needed to learn how to do networking. Find people like myself that wanted to buy the products, use all the products, fall in love with our products, and share the company and the opportunity with everybody. So the exciting part was I started catching on, and it's kind of interesting. In the beginning, a brand new little machine was developed about 35 years ago called the fax machine. And we would tell people, you need to get a fax machine to be able to communicate. Fax me what you need help with. Fax me, requests that you need, and we would communicate using a fax. And I go through hundreds of faxes a day. It was interesting back then. We used videos to interview people. We'd send them a video and have them look at the video, and we'd call and say, you haven't watched the video. Everybody that I've sent it to that have watched it have called. So obviously you haven't had time to watch it yet, but if you watch it, you may have some questions for us. And that's how we did it. Now you've got the internet, you've got all kinds of other tools that we never dreamed of having. We have emails, we've got texting, we've got just all kinds of weapons that we can use to interview people and to explain what our company is all about. So let me go back to when I met Win in the beginning. Betty Sung, who was very, very motivated. Her English was not perfect in the beginning, and I didn't understand everything, so she would have to write down what airport I was flying into. And once we were together, we would go out 10 days at a time, do a breakfast, lunch, dinner. We'd be in Pittsburgh, one for breakfast and with 10 people, and then we'd go to Philadelphia, and then we'd get on a train and go to New York, and we would do breakfast, lunch, and dinner with about 10 people at a time. And then I would be talking to the 10 people, and we'd say, everybody in this room bring 5 people, and all of a sudden we would have an army show up. So the next meeting was in a training meeting. Dave Johnson was going to come in and train them, and we got a room for 80 people. What we didn't know was when 300 people showed up to that meeting, we didn't know what Betty was saying and translating my English. She understood my English. So finally, as we were going out, I would ask, what in the world is Betty talking for 15 minutes? I'm talking for 5 minutes and she's talking for 15. Who speaks pretty good English? She'd raise her hand and laugh and say, Betty tells us that the Caucasians each bring 5 people, but the Chinese bring 5 people that bring 5 people. We never did tell the company what was going on, and we did this for about 4 years consistent. We'd leave on Friday, we'd start Saturday, Sunday, all the next week through the next Saturday and come home on Sunday, be home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, be back out on Friday to the next group of people that we're going to meet. And Betty would choose the cities that had the most Chinese restaurants, because that would mean they would have the most Chinese people living in those cities. We had so much fun. We didn't realize quite what was going to happen, that all of a sudden, we didn't open the UK first that speaks English. We opened Canada, and then we opened Taiwan. This is like unbelievable. So we're opening a Chinese country. They were eager, and everybody had relatives in the United States and in Taiwan and in Hong Kong. And it became so much fun. And the reason I got the name Gong Gong, that is the great grandfather. Well, in China, the grandfather has grandchildren that go to 100 levels deep. Just about everybody in mainland China was under Betty. And so they would call me the Gong Gong, and they would hug me like I was one of their relatives. And so it's been a joy for the last 35 years. We built the business in 50 some countries. And we just had the pleasure of working with a company that's been honest. They had great products. They come out with new products all the time. And they're constantly trying to reinvent themselves so the new distributors have an opportunity to go out and do what London and I were to do. So it was hard work, but it was a lot of fun. I'd be in cities for Super Bowl Sunday. We'd do a meeting and then we'd watch the Super Bowl game. I remember one time we were in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania doing a meeting, and it was just, they would always invite me to go to a Super Bowl party, so I didn't have to stay and watch it in the hotel room all by myself. And we just do a meeting during the Super Bowl, halftime, and before the Super Bowl and after the Super Bowl. So it was unbelievable. So what we've got to do is figure out how do we relate this company and how we're different than companies like Sony and Apple and the car manufacturers, they all do something real similar. They pay about 50 cents on the dollar for advertising. They advertise in magazines, newspapers, TV, radio. That's their advertising budget. 50 cents of every dollar goes into advertising. We do the same thing, but we do what we call word of mouth advertising. We talk to people about our company. We talk about our great products, and we share the opportunity that we could build a network of people 6 generations deep, that we could get paid a percentage of that forever. What we didn't realize 35 years ago is that now that I just turned 73 on Friday, had a great birthday party with my kids out in Paradise Valley, where my Judson is a pediatric orthopedic surgeon at the Children's Hospital, and his wife is an immigration judge. And then my daughter Brittany and Matt just moved there a year ago, so we got 2 kids in the same zip code, so we get together, have a little family birthday party and barbecue, and just had a great time this last week. So, we're no different than the other companies. We spend about the same amount of money, but we get paid 6 generations deep, 5%, 6 generations deep. So we pay out about 45% of the 50 cents that the other companies pay to traditional advertising on TV and the newspaper and magazines. So it's, in the beginning, when we told people you have to have a fax machine, I mean, it was unbelievable. At one point back in about 1988, 89, 90, we were going through almost 100,000 videos a month. People would order 100 videos. We'd tell them, interview 3 people a day for 30 days, and then get another 100 videos. And we got the videos down to $1 a piece. And we just turned around and we were an interviewing machine. We interviewed people right and left. We talked to them. Not everybody caught on to what we're doing, but the ones that caught on, we worked with them. We tried to teach them the business and coach them into finding the right people at the right place at the right time in their life. That's what I was. I was tired of being a contractor. I would say contractors never really get old. They die. I mean, it is really hard collecting money to make payroll for, 100 people is just, it's a burden. I mean, every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning, I'd be collecting money to be able to have enough money in the bank account to pay everybody. And it worked really well for a long time, but I was ready for a change. And then we got into real estate. Real estate was a little crazy also when the interest rates were 20+%. It took a long time for them to come back down. But when they did, things started getting much better. So I'm selling this house of Gary Smith's for about $5 million. It was overlooking the ocean in the distance in San Juan Capistrano. He was a really good guy, and he said, "You've got to meet these people." Well, finally, I wasn't anything different. I was wanting to sell his house, but he told me that the bank was ready to take his house back, and that I would lose the listing, but they found a company called Nuskin. Well, Linda finally convinced me that I needed to go back there, but it just happened to be on a day that snowed all night long. The company was in a 2nd-story building. Blake, Steve, and Sandy were in this one little building where they stored the product, and they had their offices and a little computer, and they pay everybody monthly. They were never late, so they really did it. I mean, they really worked hard in the beginning to make this work. But I was supposed to go there and meet the company. Somehow they met us at the airport and said we couldn't come because the collapsed and the snow came down in rain and collapsed filled up their office, the second story, with snow and rain. And anyway, it was heavy enough that it collapsed onto an attorney's office down below. And they were busy pulling the shampoos out of the wet boxes and drying them and repacking them in boxes that they could figure out how to sell again. So I had to meet the owners of Krinos who made Nutriol. They happened to be at the same airport, and we went to the Delta Crown Room and I met them. Well, I got pretty excited. You know, if the product was that good in Europe, we could probably make it work here in the United States, and we had the rights to it. And so I came back home and told Linda, yeah, I think we're going to try this. She says, what do you know about skincare and hair care? I said, well, I don't know anything, but I can learn. And so we gave it a shot. And it is a tremendous opportunity if you catch the vision that many of us have caught. All the team elites, we get together, except the last 2 years we haven't been able to get together because of COVID, but hopefully we all get together and we bond and we share stories and we become friends and we help each other. So this business is a business of all of us working together and making a company go from an idea to $3 billion and sharing the profits with all the distributor force. So this is a special company. It's exciting to be part of it. And Linda and I've had a great time. So Wynn, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
You bring back the memories. I remember those cassette tape, the video tapes. Your turn to win. Yeah. And I'm still so grateful for you because at that time, if we were to order one at a time, it's $5, I remember. Yeah. So you called me, say, when we have this mass production of the tape, you can order only $1 each. I said, oh my God. So I said, okay.
Save money.
And then we ordered like 50 or 100, and you taught us what to say. When we send out the tape, we say, okay, you got it. This is my only one. You got to watch it, and I'm going to pick it up, or you got to send it back to me the next day. We even ask for deposit. I'll send it to you. You pay me $5. When you return the tape to us, we'll give you the $5 back. And that's a true leverage. And we have used that video not only empower our own mindset, to believe in the company, to learn. And we also recruit so many people through the video because your wisdom, your guidance, and you made it so much fun. And you know what, maybe early days, this I really want to share what inspired me in the beginning. Okay, you probably don't even know that. All right, so when I joined in '89, my sponsor introduced me, but she quit. So I had to find a way that I would travel, follow Betty, follow whoever follow you. And at that time, we could show the checks, the copy of the checks. Yeah. So what they showed me, your check, the check stub show the whole year history from January, how much, and jump. When I saw, are you kidding me? It's like 10 grand increase each month. And I still have the copy of your check downstairs in my file cabinet. So it's when I saw your check and yours and Dave Johnson and Betty's, whoa, 100,000 a month. Beginning of the year is only 10. Now it's over 100,000. I said, this is crazy. I said, okay, I'm on fire. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do it. That's what inspired me. Is you guys the check. So share with us what happened back then. When you personally see your own check jump 10 grand to 20 grand to 30 grand to 40 grand each month like that. What happened? Did you ever imagine that would happen when you first joined?
Well, we also had printouts. Now it all comes online, but I'd have my printout with about 46 pages of executives, and each page would add up to, a couple $100,000. So you just multiply 5 times 100,000. That each page was worth, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So you add up all the pages, and pretty soon it's really easy to figure out what's going on. So now we can't show checks because now we have people, some of them making $1 million a month in Singapore, and they're Chinese. They just work harder than a lot of us do. But they got in trouble in mainland China because she didn't show a check. She showed her deposits every month, which were 1.2, 1.3 million a month. So we got in big trouble in mainland China because they didn't like that. So now the rules are we can't show checks. We just have to believe that a whole bunch of us made a lot of money, and we travel the world. I mean, Linda and I have been to, all the 7 wonders of the world. We travel with our friends, our Nuskin friends, and we just have fun. I mean, we're up until till COVID hit about last March, we were traveling 2 or 3 weeks a month somewhere, playing golf, having fun, and just, going to the Great Wall of China and the Taj Mahal and Machu Picchu. And I mean, it's just so much fun to be able to travel the world and share with your friends and family. It is, there's nothing quite like this. I mean, this is like a dream. If you work really, really hard in the beginning and find the right group of people, not everyone is the right person for this. You got to find somebody that's motivated, somebody that is going to fall in love with the fact that it gives you an opportunity to travel, work a little bit, travel a little bit, play a little bit. When we were in Australia, when Brittany was about 5 years old, I had her come up on stage, about 1,000 people there. And I interviewed her. I said, what kind of business is your dad in? She says, he's in the relationship business. Well, that's exactly what we are. We're in the we're looking for people to have relationships with, coach them, try to get them not to do, things that are not, this isn't calling on beauty salons like I did for the first 1.5 to 2 years. This is finding people that want to build an international business in 50 plus countries and find and work with the people that really, really want to do the business. I remember back in 1989 and 90, I was so excited. I'd get up at 4 a.m. and I'd write down a list the night before of people I'm going to call in Florida, Georgia, on the East Coast. So there's, 3 hours ahead. And when they didn't answer the phone at 7 a.m, I would leave a message. This is your upline, Russ Carlin. Money doesn't sleep. Get up and get to work. After about a month of calling everybody, they all started answering their phones at 7 a.m. and say, I'm working. Good. Who would you like me to talk to recently that you've talked with? And we would do a conference call with them. So it was like my new distributor, me, and the new person, 1, 2, 3 would be them introducing me introducing how much fun we're having building the business and how we're looking for other people like them to catch the vision of what we've got. You either catch it or you don't catch it. Some people think I signed up, I should just be making money. Well, we only make money when product moves through our distributor force from the company to them and to the inline consumer. We only make money when we're moving product. that the company makes. It isn't signing up 500 people that do nothing. It's finding 500 people that want more out of life, that are willing to go to work and pick up the phone and call people. I tell people, you don't make any money straightening your desk, making it real pretty and nice. You make money by picking the phone up. If your phone is down, you're out of business. If your phone is up and you're talking, you're in business. And not everyone's going to say yes to us. I can remember when we were in Newport Beach, at our house. That was my 40th birthday party that everybody came to. That was like 33 years ago. We were looking and trying to find people that would go out there and work and make it happen. So, you just gotta keep trying. You gotta be on the phone. I'd be in the back and forth. This is before cell phones and before I had a big long extension cord, and I'd walk back and forth talking to people, and then I'd say, gee, I'm returning your phone call, and then all of a sudden I'd tell them kind of what we're doing a little bit, and click, they'd hang up on me, and I'd go, all right, where's my next call? And I'd call the next person that was calling back. Back then we ran ads in the newspaper, that isn't the way to do it today, but everything works today. You just have to be creative and find people that want, something more out of life, that want to work, do a home-based business. Now, Linda and I, we've been married 37 years. We've always worked out of the home together. Now, it's not easy always, because sometimes you get in arguments, but somehow you get through those. Beginning, she didn't have me quit because we weren't making enough money to pay off our credit cards. So, but you know what? When it started happening back in 1989, where 10,000 went to 14, it went to 18, and pretty soon by the end of the year it was at 100, we were in shock. But we did everything in the world to figure out how to make enough money to make this business work. And it took a while, but we figured it out, and you've got hundreds of team elites that you can listen to and learn from. Now, they're starting to do meetings back at the company again. If they do a meeting and they got a major meeting going on, you want to go back and meet everybody and learn it. You can learn, not necessarily from your immediate upline, you're going to learn from everybody. Everybody's got a way that they found some of the right people, but you start making a list of people and you start talking to them. You've got to tell them, hey, I just got involved with a home-based business that is exploding in 50 countries right now, and I need help. And we're doing unbelievable, and we're looking for a couple of new special people that we can coach to be our new leaders. You got to come up with the right story, tell your story, or you tell a story of one of your mentors or one of the people that you met at one of the conventions. It's a storytelling business, and you figure out the people that are, if it's real estate that you're in, or you're a stockbroker, or whatever you might be doing, you've just got to figure out how you can find some of the right people at the right place in their life where they're open-minded and that might want to go out and make this work. So, all right, Wynn, what else do you have?
Just a question, because now everybody just do on social media. Very few people actually use a phone anymore. So Back then, how many people on list? I know in the morning you will call 60 people, so your list must be very, very long. Your name list, right? So how many people?
Well, some people said no, but you just learn. I mean, you can't be upset when somebody says no. They just don't have enough information, or they may not be at the right place at the right time in their life to change whatever they're doing. But when you find that right person that wants to do it, you talk to them every day, 4 or 5 times a day. You talk to everybody that they communicate with to tell the story of what the company is. What happened to us in the beginning and what we're doing right now, this is like, compared to what we had, is like a Model T compared to a Lamborghini right now. You've got everything on the internet. You've got so many different tools to be able to share the vision of our company and the vision of your home-based business. I mean, it's easier today because you've got so many different things that we have to share. We've got Zoom calls. We didn't have Zoom calls back then. Now, I've not done a lot of Zoom calls. This is my first Zoom call, so. Am I doing okay?
You're doing great.
You're doing great. Your first Zoom. Wow, we are very, very blessed to have you. You retire, you travel, you play golf. And tell us, who do you play golf with? And then tell us in the club, the locker room.
Who's next to your locker?
Well, we're kind of blessed. We're at a country club in Palm Desert. It's got a lot of interesting people. Bill Gates and former presidents. So my locker was next to Bill Gates for the last 20 years. And above my locker was George H.W. and George W. Bush. So up until a couple of years ago, I had 2 living presidents in a locker right next to mine, and one of the wealthiest guys in the world. So it's just kind of fun. I mean, we play golf together. London and I play a lot of golf together all over the world. We're actually building a house down in Cabo right now, and we're looking Tiger's 6th green at the El Cardinal course in Diamante, and it looks over that green and the ocean. There's no houses in front of us, so it's going to should be done January, February. In fact, you're going to be down there in September. We're going to be going to dinner. You're going to be there when we're there a whole week, so we're going to go to dinner. Just a coincidence. You're down there, and here we're flying in on 9/11 again. It seems like I'm always on an airplane on 9/11. We're flying down, and so we look forward to seeing you guys down in Cabo.
Yes, absolutely. Let me show you in Las Vegas. And we also have Tommy there from Las Vegas. Remember?
Tom Polisi.
Yep. And we really appreciate you. You have no idea how much you have helped us when we really first started. And you invited us to your beautiful home on the golf course. So, Tommy, remember that? And then it was me and you, Tommy, and you invited.
Yeah, doctor with us.
Yeah, you took us. You treated us as beautiful lunch right on the golf course, and we learned so much from you. Tommy, are you there?
Yeah, he just wrote, "You're beautiful."
Yeah, Tommy, if you want to say something.
I can mute it now. Tom Polisi, for those of you who don't know,
he owns again.
Tom Polisi, he owns Las Vegas Aesthetics. There's all the Botox and. It's got a beautiful center out there. I don't know if he's mute right now, but you said something interesting, Russ. You said that you've got to meet people at the right place at the right time, because I don't believe personally that you can really sell somebody vision. It's like selling somebody a work ethic. If they're lazy, you can have the greatest sales pitch in the world. They're going to be lazy. And if somebody has no vision and they're closed, and they're not at what we say 12 o'clock, they're just never going to listen to what you have to say. So again, we all need to know when to move on.
Yeah, and you can't be disappointed when you think the best person you've ever found says no. It's just not right for them. Now, it might be right 6 months from now. It might be right a year from now. And a lot of people said no to begin with, and I'd check back and tell them, oh my gosh, things are really going phenomenal, that we never knew it was going to be this good. And we'd bring people back in that said no to begin with. So no is not forever. No is they don't have enough information and they're not believing that you can do this. But we have so many people making serious money, having fun, traveling the world, living a dream lifestyle. I mean, that's what it is that, I mean, we're kind of blessed. We had no idea it would be this good. And we really didn't know 35 years ago when we got involved what this business really was and what it could be. So what's interesting, the part that we didn't understand is that if you've got kids and you bring your kids along and they do the business or not do the business, you've got to teach them a little bit about the business no matter what, because if you build a big business, that business is inherited by your kids. So they need to know how to do volumes. They need to know how to do it because they're going to get paid. If you've got 2 kids, whatever your check is, divided between 2 kids or 3 kids. But your business that you built goes on forever. And nobody totally understood that 35 years ago. But we're understanding it today. And the kids now are, some are working with us in the business and others aren't, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to benefit. When we're no longer here, they'll still get a percentage of our world business divided by the 3 kids. So it's really like a life insurance policy. I mean, what business a doctor passes away, and it was his brain that was the doctor, you can't replace that. There's no way you get compensated when another doctor takes over those patients. But in this business, if you build the business around the world, and we get paid in 40 plus countries, 50 plus countries, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like even in Canada, Canada's 85% Chinese because in Hong Kong in 2000 was taken over by the Chinese government. The ones that didn't believe that it was going to work forever moved to Vancouver. Well, most of the Canadian business is in Vancouver, and it's mostly Chinese. So you just never know what is going to happen in the world. The world changes all the time. I go to the German headquarters in Nuskin as we travel around. It's interesting. I mean, I'm there, and all of a sudden there are 20 Chinese in the main office. Well, then they realized I was the upline, and we had to take pictures with all of them, little group pictures. And the one thing about this is when you start making serious money, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody wants the picture with you, so they can say, this guy was in landscaping, this one is in real estate. Whatever you did before, doctors, lawyers, whatever it might be. I mean, look at Pat's son. I mean, he was a lawyer, and his wife worked for U.S. Air, and she got involved. Dr. Hung Tai Wong did a meeting, and we had a great day. This is a really good story. 500 people room, a grand ballroom, and we're 5 minutes to starting, and it's just me, Dave Johnson, Hung Tai Wong, and Pat and Marguerite. And we're thinking, oh, the traffic's really bad in Washington, D.C. And Hung Tai was hoping maybe the chandelier would fall down and hit his head because he was expecting 500 people to show up. And almost nobody showed up. But Pat and Marguerite figured out this might be the right thing for them to do. And then when Marguerite started making serious money, he quit his job at Exxon. He was the attorney for Exxon. And now he said, now I'm my wife's baggage handler. I carry the bags through the airport for her. And now the two of them are so funny to watch them in person explain how they got involved and how he had to quit being a lawyer and really do a real business like Nuskin and now they just have a fabulous lifestyle and enjoy life and travel the world and do meetings. They're always somewhere. They're in Hong Kong, they're in Taiwan, they're in mainland China, they're here in the United States, all over. So we're just so blessed to be in the situation that we're in right now, that even though we're not working as hard as we did in the beginning, it's still so much fun meeting people and helping people catch the vision of this free enterprise networking company called Nuskin.
Question.
Yeah.
I have a question, Russ.
All right.
I have a question because there are a lot of people, when we started, you remember the 5-kit system, right?
Yes.
It was $1,400, and that was almost 30 years ago. That was quite a bit of money back then.
Yes.
What would you say to people now who say, gee, I really can't afford to buy a spa?
Well, we've got different kits now than we had back then. The kits weighed about 25 pounds, so if you took 5 of them on an airplane, you had to hand carry. They weighed too much to be able to check. And then you didn't want to come home with them because they weighed a lot. And you'd have these kits and you'd sell them. And I'd go out every time with 5 kits and I'd sell 5 kits, no matter what. We're going to sell those kits and get somebody started somewhere in the country. Today, we've got different ways of getting people started. And you kind of have to, learn from your upline what the best way for you, what kits are the best to get started. And there's so many different things. I mean, we've got vitamins today that we didn't have in the beginning. Our Pharmanex products and our biophotonic scanners, it is phenomenal. I mean, someday it should win a Nobel Prize for medicine, because your scan score may be more important than your cholesterol score. They keep changing cholesterol. This is good this week, and next month something that they just changed the numbers and the profile and stuff. We've got a scanner that does your antioxidant level, and if you have high antioxidants, you don't normally get sick. In fact, we have very few people that got coronavirus because most of us are on our vitamins. We take them in the morning and night. I take about 25 vitamins. I mean, I try to live by, what we're selling. I use everything that we've got. We use every product, shampoos, deodorant, everything. Shaving cream, the whole works. Use a little of everything. Replace everything you're using now with a product that we have that is better. We're the first company 30 years ago that said we don't have alcohol, mineral oil, and beeswax. And today, everybody's trying to copy us, but nobody copied us back 30 years ago because it was too expensive, they said. But we made it work anyway, so we've got products that are good for your skin. Just look at our distributors. I mean, the ones that are 40, 50, 60, 70, they look pretty doggone good if they've been using our products for the last 30 years. Our skin looks smooth. It's kind of nice to be a product of the product, and you've got to, if you're going to go out and sell our products, you better start using them and falling in love with them so you can share what these products are all about. It's difficult because we come up with new products all the time. And sometimes I know some of the products, but I mean, I'm learning it's a constant learning process to learn all the new products and the old products and keep using the old products and the new products. So the company tries to stay just one step ahead of all the other companies out there. And we've got a really good story. Nuskin is a great story. Our products are a great story. And the marketing plan rewards the people that go out there and make this thing happen. So it's a joy in Eugene and Win. It's been fun being on this call, and I hope we get people that are on it, get back, get to work, put down on paper what your goals are, and try to change your goals constantly, upgrading goals to be bigger and better every single month. So nothing stays the same. You just have to continue to learn. And it's a learning process. I mean, I learned something every day about Nuskin that I didn't know a year ago that just makes it that much better. So you learn from everybody.
Right.
It's a networking business. You network with.
Ross, we just learned so much. You know what? You're forever young in your mind, in your appearance, and your spirit. What you have taught us are really the fundamentals, principles of building a business. Is the heart and the passion about the products and all that. But you are also so brilliant. You are a brilliant entrepreneur. And could you share some wisdom that's besides music? I know from Nuskin, everybody, if you put your time and effort, you can make lots of money. That's why you are, I would say, $60+ million earner. But you manage your money wisely. You create a huge wealth. And that takes wisdom and vision. Could you give someone, because we also have people on the call, they are also multi-millionaires. And what is it that you did with the Nuskin income to create such a huge wealth? What's the advice, quick advice you can give to people?
Well, when you start making serious money, it's really hard to spend that much money a month, number one. So you've got to save some money, set it aside, and invest it the best you can. But it's a constant battle. You're constantly trying to figure out what to do, and you've got to not spend more money than you're making. In the beginning, it's very difficult because you're not making as much as you're going to make in the future. But you just stick with it and you do whatever it takes to make this thing work, because it's a great company. A lot of people jump from this company to that company to another company, and they lose the vision of what we've got. We've got a company of a bunch of great distributors. We're all pretty good friends, and we all kind of work together. And so you're in a company that's going to love you, and you're going to love, I think, most of the distributors. You can't love everybody. I mean, there's some people that are not perfect, but none of us are perfect. But you just find that you just work with the people that you enjoy working with and help them succeed. And it is a relationship business. You build a relationship with people. Like Brittany would say, Dad goes out and plays golf with the people, and then does a little business, and they go to dinner and they have fun. Well, make this business fun. And that's what this is. Like Win and Eugene and we're all going to have fun down in Cabo from the 11th to the 18th. Go to dinner a bunch and share ideas, have fun, and enjoy each other's company.
All right.
Looking forward to it. Russ, can't thank you enough for taking your time and sharing your wisdom, your experience, you and Linda both. So we do appreciate you, and we really are looking forward to September 11th, where we can get together and just in person. No Zooms, no masks, just face to face.
Yes.
Just have great fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Russ. We really appreciate this. Is your first Zoom. You probably haven't done this meeting for a long time. But so because you love us so much, it doesn't matter where you are, you forever. When we ask, you always say yes, because you are forever our gong-gong. You are our gong-gong. And I love you so much. Truly appreciate
All right, thank you.
Help us. Okay.
Well, thanks one and all for joining us. Have a good evening. We're a phone call, a text, or an email away if anybody needs help. God bless, stay healthy, and we'll see you all soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
And for those of you, if you want to open your mic to say thank you to Russ, that would be great.
You're welcome to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russ.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russ.
Thank you
This has
so
been
much.
wonderful. It was
Great.
wonderful to see you again.
You have a lot of
Thank
new
you
fans.
so much.
You got so many fans. Okay.
Lots of people.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye from Long Island.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Thank you so